Welcome everyone to the glorious Smite League. For today, we're going to be casting a game Hakai versus Hakai. I'm joined by Angry Goose and Hunter on the... I'm amazing. Anyway, let me crack open a cold one, because this is going to be a long night.
It's so nice to be here. So this is probably one of the most anticipated games so far, Kins versus Hakai. A lot of rivalry going on here, as we know.
Yeah,
Players to look out for is probably Brex, who's built quite a reputation. 4 games on Yuhuang, 0 deaths, despite losing each of them. And of course, Kins banning that out right away, not wanting him to have his immortal Yuhuang. Don't think Brex ever going to get to play that again.
Yeah, recently I've been seeing a lot of Yu Huang bans, a lot of traffic around him. People have been picking him a lot. Because the poke, I must say, is quite insane.
Yeah, he's probably the only mid laner you can really top pick, or at least one of the few you can, and always sort of feel good. Can never really have too bad of a game on Yuhuang as long as you play it right. Got decent damage and
Classic. I've never seen a Ao Kuang being played simply because he's just constantly banned. Let's see here.
I'm hearing a bit of echo here, Hunter.
Alright, 4 ban from Hakai.
No surprise there.
Yeah, no
He's
surprise.
personally one of the people I'd always top ban. He's definitely my main ranked ban. It's the fact that you can ult someone from like halfway across the map and one-shot them. It's quite scary.
Yeah, especially
And since
late
the
game.
holding spots as well.
Interestingly enough, a Ymir ban from King Kai's.
Ymir has become quite popular at the start of this season. The narrow corridors make his walls a lot more effective.
That is true, especially the change on the walls as well. Decreasing cooldown. Made them
The Maui
more
ban
impactful.
still effective even after his nerf.
Yeah, Maui's just such a powerful Guardian. The setup is insane with him.
And we've seen Athena being hovered here. She is quite popular, especially in LD, but I
It's
think she's
time
quite
to turn
overrated,
this
personally.
battle in our
I'm
favor.
not
Can't
much
go
of an
wrong
Athena
with the
guy.
taunt.
That is true, and you don't have to know how to rotate with Athena. You can just ult to your side of the map.
Exactly. Even in jungle, Athena can perform quite well thanks to her ultimate.
And here we see Sol being hovered. Now, this is a first pick. That feels like a first pick.
Yeah, Sol is, as I said, a magical ADC is absolutely dominating dual lane currently.
Does seem like the strongest out of the 3. We also see Agni being hovered, so both the backliners potentially being picked here.
Yeah, and there he is. I've seen a lot of people pick Agni and ban Agni, but honestly, I don't really see what's so appealing about him. I know the damage is crazy, but the lack of beats on the ultimate and just only one mobility ability is just not really my vibe.
Yeah, I think Agni can definitely be a bit more comp dependent, because obviously in areas of Daji can ruin your day, but I think it's more the fact that you can just fire over walls and always be within dash range of his tower. Makes it very hard to kill him without the proper god. Though we do see a Fenrir being hovered, who's one of the best people to pick against an Agni.
That is true, and Hercules is being picked as well. Even after the contagion has been re-enabled, Hercules is still being picked.
So it looks like they're opting for a pretty heavy dive there. Obviously, if the Athena normally focuses more around aggression and setup rather than peel, though can peel quite well. Just a long cooldown and only having 1 CC does make it a bit difficult. Herc's basically just there to be unkillable. Same with Tears, so both the solos sort of having similar ideas. Though we might see the weakness of top picking your 2 backliners, because Fenrir might be able to mess up that Agni pretty bad if he's not careful. So we'll see.
That's true,
Poseidon
especially
banned.
because his free can follow up Agni even through the dash.
Exactly. It's not as bad as being a Foth because he can at least stun him out of it, but if he just closes the gap through the dash and he could ult to a unit and then grab him. So Poseidon, I haven't actually seen that much of him. He's definitely quite strong, and with the narrow corridors, feels like he could be quite good, but maybe it's safety, just haven't seen that much. A Wheelix, I can definitely understand. You do have a Fenrir, and the Wheelix can mess it up a bit. But Kronos as well.
Kronos ban. It's completely insane. Damage on him. I don't know what will happen, but ever since the buff, Kronos has just been an absolute menace.
Also the Nijar ban last, which not a bad ban. I do think there are probably some better junglers that could be gone, but Nijar ban's never bad.
Oh, man,
And
I love
Mercury
this
being
sport.
hovered.
So exciting.
Mercury being picked. Seen a lot of Mercury players. I guess the crit has really benefited him. The changes to rage.
And Surta being hovered. That would be funny if that were locked in, though I don't believe he's allowed yet.
Pretty sure he's still banned.
Face the wrath of a sorceress scorned.
Another very good mage with decent poke, not to mention the self-peel.
I've got my eye on you.
Yeah, though this perhaps might be a bit of a brave game for a Morgan, because while she does have the self-peel, she can still be quite vulnerable to displacement, and being against a Tyr and a Mercury is easy to get pushed out of position, so he's going to have to be careful in that position in there. The Hu Yi being locked in. Honestly, ever since the TTK changes, Hu Yi just hasn't felt the same. I feel like he struggled with the minion clear since the minions got buffed.
Yeah, haven't seen much Hui at all, actually.
Though, with the new camp clear, a triple bounce ricochet could be really effective against a lane quick, so that might have actually fixed his early game a bit.
That's certainly true, although when I ever play Kuzenbo, and I think the bounces are the same with Kuzenbo and Hui Yi, I just can't seem to get a triple bounce anywhere.
It is odd though, I don't think Kazembo's bounce actually does bonus damage.
Oh no, it doesn't do bonus damage, I was just talking about the whole setup of the triple bounce. I just can't seem to get a triple bounce anywhere.
Ganesha being hovered, this will definitely make the Fenrir's job a lot harder. Because Ganesha can kind of shut him down instantly.
Yeah, Ganesha's quite a shutdown for plenty of gods with channel abilities.
Ready now, Hunter?
Right, starting off. Let's see, anything unusual being picked? I want to catch it.
So far, everything seeming quite standard, though the Ganesha actually opting for Benevolence, which is not that common anymore. Benevolence kind of spent a long time just being the starter, whereas now it kind of feels a bit rough, really. Sentinels just feels a bit too good.
Yeah, Sentinels has always been good, just because of the self-sustain. Always prefer to go it instead of Benevolence.
Compassion just kind of not feeling worth it, really, because that's kind of what it was. Sentinels would give you a much better fight, and that would give you more XP sitting in lane, but Benevolence would give you more roaming, but also have a much better starter upgrade, whereas Sentinel's Embrace actually feels as good as Compassion now. Feels a lot better for yourself, and then Heroism. I really like the idea of it in principle, it's just not having any prots on it makes it really bad for you to build. So we'll see which direction
I don't really see much mannequins on Soul being picked. It's just people mostly taking Gilded Arrow now. I remember when people would pick mannequins all the time and just deal incredible damage.
Mannequin did get nerfed, I think, the start of Season 10 or just before. So it isn't as strong, so it doesn't scale anywhere near as well as Gilded Arrow does. Especially since the bonus basic attack damage scales a lot better, it's worth a lot more magics. Here we see some pretty messy clear. I'm always worried that I'm going to pick up the wrong buff whenever I'm doing it. I've done that a few times.
Yeah, sometimes they can fall right next to each other. It's just an absolute mess. Gotta be really careful picking up those buffs. And you see a solo laner end up with a red buff.
It doesn't look like either jungler's gone for a cringe gank just yet, though. The Merc heading towards the XP and the Fenrir on the Great means that they both could go straight to duo if they wanted, though they're probably going to opt for their second speed buff.
But definitely Mercury should try ganking left lane as much as possible. Simply because I know that the Hui doesn't ward as much. Doesn't ward that much.
Oh yes, I just realised. Yeah, and as well with Merc, even if they do ward, the fact you can just ult behind the towers means you can kind of negate the wards a bit. So we do see both junglers coming by, but it looks like Merc spotted that their jungler's there and decided it's not worth it, headed back to mid.
Oh,
Try to look for something on the Morgan, though doesn't realise the fence right behind him. Needs to be careful here.
Oh, look at that. Very aggressive play by Fenrir.
Does give them the pressure they need to pull the mid camps if they want.
We see Hui getting at the pressure, the upper hand here, and going for the golden buff. Sol thinking about stealing it, almost got it. Fortunate. What's going on?
Looks like there might be a little gank coming on to duo lane here, though I think they spotted it out.
Yeah, but still.
Maybe the wrong target here, in my opinion. That's what I mean. Probably should have just gone for the Athena, who didn't have a jump up. The dash could have been blocked, but
that is true. I feel like
was an
Ganesh,
attempt.
perhaps with a silence, Ganesh could have gotten at least Kui to very low HP. The point that they would have to retreat.
Fenrir looking for retaliation, but they all back up. Maybe gonna hang around a bit longer, but decides to just leave by the looks of it. Going for the invade, actually.
Oh, nasty little invade. Is he gonna get punished for it though? Ooh, so much.
I don't think the numbers are on their side here. Looks like she will slip out to disapparate, but has lost a lot of health, probably forcing her back and the purple buff. And Fenrir is being attacked now. Does manage to jump away, but poke does mean he has to be a bit
Fenrir is
careful.
quite a difficult thing.
Having a jump and then a smaller jump is also another reason why he's quite strong on this map. I feel like jumps get a lot more value now.
Oh, what happened there?
He's on the way for clear. Though it looks like might get soloed by Isus, though does seem to get out alive. Isu's running out of mana.
Indeed, he ran out of mana, unfortunately.
I mean,
Yeah, he slips away.
I don't think ulting the wave there was wrong if he's gonna back on her, because it's kind of an ult that you're fine just throwing away with, really. It's not like a massive game changer ult, it's kind of just there for extra damage, so I don't hate that. Was a bit too close for comfort, but it worked out.
Yeah. Quite risky. You know, with the double taunt.
Fortunately,
Aggression
this is not
and
ready
Sol
for
don't
forward.
have their ultimates yet. Aggression could be a good play here. Mercury is quite far away during his speed. Now what do we have? Still not level 5. Quite the little poke battle here. Both teams are playing quite safe at the moment. Not trying
Surprised
to
they
go.
weren't being a bit more aggressive there with Kins. Both of them being 5, it looked like they definitely had the advantage during that fight, but
I'm guessing this is a more
Opting
afraid of
not to.
Mercury, a low Mercury gang, perhaps even a rotate from mid lane.
that's probably true. We see Hunter ulting the wave again for clear, which is, again, not the worst thing to do on Herc. You're never gonna really kill a tier unless they're doing something very wrong, so might as well just clear and so you can get the totem faster. So Easy's putting a lot of damage onto that, more than the Herc can heal right now.
I recently
looks like
played
we
a
see-
Hercules game and went Golden Blade for the clear, and honestly it wasn't that bad. I do love experimenting with strange items on powerful guns.
It does sound quite funky, but another purple invade done. Just to keep that ADC down, which is probably the best thing to do right now. You've got a lead, you're just going to push that lead as far as you can.
Apply as much pressure as possible.
Alyssa is quite strong on those 1v1s, and especially with her having a strong 1v1 god. She gets put ahead. As long as there's not a big team-wide attempt to shut her down, she should be fine, really. Should just keep going. This 6-minute gold fury.
Oh, this might be dangerous.
Though it doesn't look like Hakai are actually aware of this.
Yeah,
So
honestly,
it looks like they'll get it for free.
That they would go through at 6 minutes in.
Not actually the earliest gold fury I've seen this season either. There's been quite a few early ones.
Oh,
See Hunter maybe hinting a bit.
Merc throws him in. Oh, actually no, it's top.
Merc missing the ult, and Hunter actually manages to escape.
That was a little premature ulties there.
Looks like Hunter's getting away with murder over in solo. I mean, I won't complain too much about the Merc ult, 'cause that's exactly what I'd probably have done, but it does feel bad.
You can certainly feel the pain as he stood still.
And the Soul, despite the invades, only still 1 level down, so isn't feeling that bad and isn't afraid to get close and personal with Alyssa.
Yep. Because of the new telekines change, now it's such a powerful early game item.
One thing we know about Renspro is he'll, no matter how far down he is, he'll never be scared to dash into an entire team, so...
It reminds me of someone.
Also with Isu, so they've got 2 of those people in the team, which is very good if you're ahead, but it's quite a risky strat.
See Alyssa going in, hard and soft. Could be a kill here. And Shelly, oh, nice little double bounce, and there we go. First block.
Very clean solo kill. I think Redspro just didn't really respect the damage. Also died with ult up as well, so didn't really make much attempt to fight back. Kind of just popped their free, danced around and popped out and died. But you do see a big taunt as well as the Morgan ult, so good setup there and a bit of follow up. Unfortunately for them though, Merc does get out alive, but force into back does mean that they can look for
Fenrir's
something.
looking for a cheeky little snatch, goes in for Ganesh. Not gonna pay out though. No, it's not. Which quickly makes a getaway. What is going on in solo lane here?
Was a good attempt, just didn't look like the team were kind of on the same page. Judging by the way they were standing, they kind of didn't seem to realise until the ult was already halfway done, so... Maybe a bit of miscommunication there, but it's always better to attempt it and fail than to just stand there and do nothing, in my opinion. Hunter is managing to get just a very minuscule lead out of this, so it's kind of going fine. With a Herc V tier lane, you're not really looking to do much other than just farm up and rotate. Not really if we're going to solo the tier. So even being only slightly ahead is pretty good.
See if he benefits from it though.
I feel like as gods they both kind of have the same idea where you just be annoying and unkillable in their backline and just use your displacement.
Yeah, that is quite the strategy honestly. Especially with the current tankiness of some gods. You can just be annoying and try to be a setup for your ADC or your jungler. Huge fight going
Hunter
on
using
the
that ult for clear and also the totem damage. Who's going to get it first? I think that was Hunter that got that. Izu's running out of mana now, so it's going to struggle to clear or do much else.
Oh, look, both of them being as tanky
Brett barely make it out alive. In fact, doesn't make it out alive.
does not make it out alive. I'm actually surprised.
Taken out for the last hit, has just had constant pressure under him.
I'm honestly surprised dueling is not getting ganked as much.
Kind of just been left to the 1v1, which kind of favours this Yi, since he's probably the one who wants to just be left alone to 1v1.
Exactly.
Both kind of playing tug of war with this Scorpion here. He kind of clears it, Soul kind of just watches it.
Nice trying to disrupt some RP. Fortunately, that Deckley is just way too fast to catch up. Yi going in on Soul again.
Usually Red's can't actually remember to use the ult, but Alyssa does get a few lucky crits in, like you said.
Yeah.
I think at this point, unless Alyssa messes up and just misses the whole combo, I don't think the Soul actually has any fight back potential here.
I feel like Red's Pro is being way too aggressive for his current situation. He's trying to get an outplay here, maybe knock Alyssa into the tower line with the ultimate, but it's just not happening.
Yeah, also does still have the beat. Maybe could have beats the stun to get a bit of fight back, because in a pure boxing match, in theory, Soul could still have won that. It's just once the ult's dropped, it's kind of rough really. Just can't really out to kiss if you
That's what I'm talking about, a nice little gank. Even forcing the beats is good enough.
Beats on pop, the ult is actually landed this time. Upper's landed.
Up.
And is taken out.
That's what they should have been doing.
Some good feel from the Ganesh there, saving the ADC's life. He does manage to escape. And Morgan's quite low as well, however. It looks like the Merc's running for his life here.
A bit of trouble here.
Hit with the Brutalize. Isn't really any CC left to save him with, though. They do manage to kill the Fen, which is worth the trade since the Fen's ahead, so...
1 for 1?
2 for 1, I think. Remember, Alyssa died, so...
Ah, yeah.
Big shutdown. Definitely worth it for Hakai there.
That is true. Especially because Alyssa was so up ahead.
And I think, honestly, they can just keep doing that, because now that they're equal in level, the lead's kind of gone, which means the Soul can actually fight back again. We also know that the Huyi's beads are down, which means Merc can kind of kill at any moment, though. It looks like Red's Pro's about to get soloed again. Will he escape? Turns with the ult, but might have actually had a chance if they just kept running rather than turning, but...
Yeah. That's his problem, he just doesn't want to flee. Constantly wants to fight.
I respect it, I definitely respect it, but... I do think he needs to be put on a leash a bit.
Yeah, he should, I feel like he should stand back a bit. Let Merc come in for a gank, help him out. There's no shame in that. Oh, okay, actually, never mind. Maybe Merc should not come in for a gank.
I can't tell if that was missed or dodged or both, to be honest.
I feel like those kind of... Those, work together. I don't know what's more shameful, I think they're all being dodged.
Couple of abilities being missed, might have been able to kill Brex if they both hit, however...
Banner is going far up ahead.
Okay, they don't. Brex, again, just being harassed non-stop, doesn't get a break.
Yeah.
The poor guy ain't even safe at the back of his tower.
And there's no hiding from Banner with the Agni.
The list is out for blood though, perhaps not giving Red's Pro the respect though. I'll focus on this fight right now. Pax King just getting obliterated by that Fenrir ult combo.
Absolutely annihilated there.
And all that damage Yi just took was just healed up with crits and Nazi.
We all being pumped. Kinda early. But maybe she can follow it up. Oh, that bounce. Damage. Insane. Crits coming in. Oh,
Minions coming in
steal
clutch from this here.
That Fenrir is also up on Soul's rear.
Oh, this man just still get a solo. You know what? I'm happy with that. if I were him, still be very happy. And Brett just dashing in, trying to get that kill no matter what.
Oh, Fenrir a sliver of health. Getting away though.
I'm not feeling too good.
He did have to use his beast though.
You chose.
So
Well, I'm gonna
hopefully
say
that's
good job,
something
Evan.
the enemy team will exploit. And Solo Lane is just smacking each other for the past 10 minutes. See,
So
Crown Fury
Hakai
being taken.
actually pulling the Gold Fury though. There is a bit of contesting this time, so they might have to drop it to fight. Do decide to leave.
That's a safe thing to do. You don't want your Gold Fury being stolen at the last second.
And their soul.
If we look at the damage, Reds Pro actually does have a lot more on the Alyssa there. It just looks like Alyssa just keeps healing it up, and I think as well with Hu Yi, it's because of the way he fights in the combo, a lot of that damage more happens at once.
You
As
see
the
what's
soul's
Rest
kind of
Pro's, you know what's Rest Pro's problem here? He did not go Toxic Blade. I'm disappointed.
I'm not sure if a Toxic Blade this early would be the play.
Trust me, it would have been fun.
I know you've had some results with it, but I'm not convinced yet.
People never expected Toxic Blade.
For good reason, I'd argue.
Yeah.
Solo being ganked here, though, there is a... It's kind of hard to see. Production having to pause, so that's fine. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. How do you think the game's going so far, Rexac?
So far, I feel like Kenkai's are applying a good amount of pressure on. I just feel like the duo lane is not being ganked enough, considering the amount of wards is none. So Mercury should have just abused that fact, try to gank a lot more, maybe hit his ult here or there.
Yeah, I think as well, because you're never going to kill tier realistically, right? And the mid's kind of really well guarded with that Athena on them. I know the Athena can kind of appear anywhere, but I do think ADC sort of the least likely to escape, especially since the Hu Yi's playing quite far up though. Looks like it's a little fight around Gold Fury. And they are committing to it by the looks of it.
It's not that committing. Seeing plenty of ults coming in.
Kids managing to secure it. I actually thought Hakai would be able to secure that with the Acne bombs, but apparently not.
Are they gonna be aggressive though because of it? Are they gonna stand back and take the L? You see Hui creeping up, ready to pull off another bounce perhaps? Some crits here, but we also see Mercury and Fenrir fighting over the gold buff. And Mercury has to scramble away. We see Fenrir coming in with the Athena ult on him.
Fortunately, the Storm was a bit missed, but
Agni's coming in as well, do some helping.
Greg's coming in to peel for his jungler.
Fenrir's
Fortunately,
super aggressive. What happened there? Where? Reds is down. That's
I didn't even
surprising.
notice Reds Pro getting killed there.
Oh, back to solo lane. Hunter's out of mana. He has to retreat. That's crazy. Solo lane has just been absolutely insane, I must say. Best choice so far.
The gap in ADC now growing to 3 levels and 2 levels in mid. It's looking quite bad for Hakai though. Their team doesn't scale badly at all here. They have the Merc, who's arguably quite a bit better than Fenrir at full build. Obviously you have the Agni, who I'd probably prefer over a Morgan. Ganesh I feel like can definitely peel a lot better than Athena can. And then Soul's never really going to get bad as the game goes on, so... It's definitely not hopeless for them, though they do definitely try and stem the bleeding a bit here. Pyro is being taken by kids looking to get a bit more of the lead.
Just creeping around, trying to secure his ultimate.
Fortunately, doesn't manage to.
Like the best chance Hakai has is winning is probably trying to help the dual lane out. Apply some more pressure on Hui.
Though it might be a bit too late for that, with Alyssa already reaching level 19, it'll be very hard, because the level 16 Merc ganks, Alyssa could probably just turn and kill. Especially since she has a fully stacked rage, whereas the Merc's got no stacks.
That is It's true, especially considering Hui's passive. Mercury can't actually do as much as against other. See here, middle lane, looking for some opportunities, apply some poke perhaps. Not really going for the bastions, surprisingly enough. Considering Morgan in the face poke, like those bastions should have been long gone.
It's a bit of extra gold perhaps being left on the table, though. Isn't really that significant.
Agni being properly protective. Not trying to go too far up, considering Fenrir is lurking constantly around middle lane. See a lot of people circling around Fire Giant, perhaps. Don't know if that's the best play. Everyone's coming into mid.
Despite the circumstances though, Merc has managed to keep level, even maybe just slightly in front of Fenrir, so is managing to keep farming, though does really need to get some kills, get that rage online soon, otherwise will struggle with the crits.
Indeed, Mercury has not been having a good time with the amount of self-peel and CC the enemy team has. Kind of difficult to be able to even get a few punches here and there without just constantly dying. Probably the only opportunity he has is with his ultimate. Maybe finish someone off with low HP. We see here King Kai is going in on the Fire Giant. Hopefully they manage.
So Kai seemingly oblivious to this again. The objective warden's really lacking though. Izu's might have spotted it out and is looking to try and slow it down. Doing the right thing, aiming for the ADC. Locking him about. But unfortunately, not able to do much there.
There he manages to get on, never mind, does not manage to get away. Alyssa is absolutely bloodthirsty. Now we see King Kai's kind of scrambling around. Did he get the Fire Giant though, right? Didn't see the subtitles, I'm half blind I suppose.
Can you bring the wards up, Hunter?
Alright, so let's go, I'm proud. That's what I'm talking about.
Ironically, despite having a decent number of wards, they don't seem to be placed in very good spots because the objective seems to just keep being taken unnoticed by Hakai. Izu seemed to only notice by sound, by the fact that Hunter wasn't there. There seem to be some pretty late responses because Izu did have a good defense on that. Obviously, he knocked out the ADC, disrupted a bit, burned their stuff. Like,
yeah, but there was just absolutely no follow-up there.
Exactly, I feel like a few Agni bombs over a wall, that could have been a kill or at least a steal or something, but they decided to go in after the tier had died and after the FG had been taken. At that point, you just decide to leave it. But
yeah, exactly, you should have gone in more defensive.
Definitely some disorganized shot calls here. And Hunter just throwing a boulder for intimidation purposes there. It's there to assert a bit of dominance onto Hakai.
He did it to clear the wave, come on. He's been doing that the whole game.
That's true. Did get a bit of extra XP doing that.
Exactly, songs. Also stealing the green buff, setting even more evidence. See left lane absolutely being run down there.
Green buff actually feels a bit better on solo late game than blue if you're not too mana hungry. Hurt can be quite mana hungry, but if you have the MP5, which he does have with the Heart Ward, I prefer a green buff personally. Gives you a bit more sustain, gives you more health, makes you harder to kill, and with Kin's not being so prevalent right now, it doesn't feel as bad building a lot of HP, because that was sort of the dilemma before, obviously, because prots kind of cap off with how useful they are, but HP could just go up and up. Then Kins would kind of ruin your day, but Kin's not being so prevalent.
Exactly. Actually a big brain move. I'm sure it was intentional. See some basic farming. Perhaps you could go for Pyromancer since it's up. Now I'm sure Hakai is in quite a bit of trouble because all the towers are down. Now the sieging begins. Perhaps there could be a opportunity for a little outplay, maybe a team wipe happened. Stuff like that happens.
Yeah, there's always chance that Kins throw this here, though. With being as far ahead as they are, it would be quite difficult for them to do that. And with the healing and having TP and an Athena ult, you can kind of just go in, half health to Phoenix, leave, have your tanks back, and then come back to the fight immediately and then resume. So there's really no rush here. Fine, their FG timer isn't too low. And they do have a Pyro bomb, so they can take this quite quickly. Though grouping up for Agni bombs is not what you want to be doing.
Exactly. Agni bombs handheld.
Right, getting a lot of damage there.
Trevi has to use the Aegis. Don't know if will help them though. Mercury coming on from the ult. Actually hitting it once. Trevi is wiping him out though. Unfortunate. The healing on Morgan Le Fay's ultimate is something else.
Almost got a double kill, though the targeting was a bit rough there. Kind of went towards the Morgan, decided not to go to Morgan, then went back to Morgan. Feel like if they just...
come here, fetching Restful like a good boy. Now Hakai's in a lot of trouble. They can only rely on Agni at the moment. Coming in very aggressive looking guys. Pierre's trying to pull Trevi, but don't know if that's the play. Will he get away though? Trevi's out for blood. He wants revenge. He gives up on it though. Pierre's too fast for him. But will Fender again?
And can you swap back to player damage now, Hunter?
Oh my god, hell from Pierre. He's been running that sliver for the past 30 seconds. See? King Kaiser retreating, possibly going for Fire Giant. But also absolutely invading their jungle. Yeah, definitely grouping up the Fire Giant. I don't know if it's warded at all from Hakai. Probably not. Considering they've been sieged for the past 5 minutes.
It looks like Hakai aren't going to try and put up a defense here, just opt in to clear some fire waves, stay under Phoenix. Not EFG, so there is still that fight back potential. To be honest, they almost had it there over at left Phoenix. It was just a few missed attacks and a few bad targets from Merc there. Had a really good engage onto them, really could have killed them, just unfortunately didn't quite hit the stuff he needed to, and also kept changing his mind on who he was going for.
Exactly.
Another weakness of shot pull in there, I think.
Ult coming in, Agni ult.
And also the Tear Fearless really should have been some kills there.
Fortunately, it was not meant
Because
to be
Brett
there.
did the right thing, he saw the backline too far up, grouped up, got the poke off.
Don't really see
Still
much
Atomic's got a big initial.
anti-heal from Hakai.
No, we do see two Divine Ruins though. But
That's about it though.
with Contagion being banned when this game was played, that couldn't be used, and I'm guessing it's just Brawlers feels quite rough to use, quite expensive for what it gives you.
Yeah, not a lot
Then-
of options, except Toxic Blade. But yeah, still. Probably the reason Morgan Le Fay was able to survive that fight was the lack of anti-heal. Perhaps even like Pestilence could have made a huge difference there. Because I feel like Pestilence is a bit slept on. Everyone's just taking Contagion, or was taking Contagion before it was banned, but we see a lot of fighting currently going on at Phoenix. Got a little carried away there with my rant.
It's an interesting time to rant about Pestilence.
Yeah. Sorry, that's more important to me. And I think this is gonna be game. They just absolutely cannot keep up with the damage. I think guys will game one.
I mean, that was quite a stop, nearly 20k ahead, so going into next game, how do we think Hakai can try and come back for this, or what do you think they're going to have in their little team talk after this, or what they should do?
Definitely, they have to ward more, apply way more pressure on the duo lane there. Because there were just not enough ganks on duo in my opinion. Solo, just leave it alone, let them fight, let them smack each other. But duo lane, you just have to constantly be there.
Hunter, can you hover not the scoreboard, but the details screen?
I feel like mid lane should also be sort of left alone. There were a lot of safe plays there. They were not really fighting, they were just a bit of poking left and right. And, well, the objectives, there was just not enough wards around. King Kais were just taking objectives left and right due to lack of wards.
I agree with most of what you said. With the ward thing, I think as well, it wasn't necessarily the number of wards being placed, because at least when we did check it, they did actually have quite a lot more. I think it was just the locations they were being placed, because they seem to be like warding out channels and stuff, which is fine. It's just my team sort of made that mistake where we'll ward everywhere but the Gold Fury, and then they'll just take it at 5 minutes.
Yeah,
We'll be like, what?
exactly. The Gold Fury at 6 minutes was quite the L.
Because unless you've had multiple people get killed, you really shouldn't be letting that get snuck there, because really, you should be able to just kill them or chase them off it. That's definitely a bit of an error, and as we see there, the wards, again, like, it wasn't bad warding here. Like, they definitely warded more as a team. Brex having
exactly.
13,
wards from Agni.
Zoe having 9, you know what I mean, 12. Izu's having 2, no surprise there.
Alyssa having 0, no surprise there.
Yeah, I think she actually said she's going for a no war challenge this season, so we'll see how that goes. Oh, sub 10, I've been reminded, though. So far, it has remained at 0.
I think she did place like 1 ward one game.
Actually.
So yeah. But still, even though she has no wards, she performed well, so honestly, we have nothing to shit talk here about lack of wards, but still.
Oh no, the 1v1 skills were definitely there.
Absolutely.
So I think the main thing above all that Hakai need is just they need to have a clear shot caller, or at least just be on the same page. Because again, we've seen some really good individual plays. Brett will get off a huge amount of damage, half health, multiple people, or even more than half health. Then Ghoul Atomics was, at least late game, getting consistently good place Ganesha ults. You know, he was hitting multiple people with them. Then they'd get Agni bombed, or Izus would tear fearless them over the Ganesha ult. Like, these plays were good. It's just, it seemed to just be quite bad with following up. Like, the Ganesha ult would get placed sometimes, then people wouldn't attack, or they'd all hit some stuff, but then Mercury would ult and then miss a dash, miss a one, go for one person, swap to another. Then Rex Pro would kind of walk up and get picked. So I think the main tag just needs to happen. They need to have one guy just say, right, we're doing this, and to just pick someone to kill. Like, if the ADC and mid are both low, just pick one and commit to them. Because if you keep swapping, they'll end up both getting out alive, which is what happened.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't feel too bad about this. It's quite often that a team has a bad first game but makes a comeback, so we'll see how it goes. Brick still managing to damage for the mid laner. So we're going to take a break now. We'll be back with you shortly. Thanks for listening, and see you all game 2.
Welcome back to the game against Kins and Hakai. Right after the little break we had, discussing what went right and what went wrong. Kins 1, Hakai 0 currently. Well, at the moment we feel like biggest mistakes Hakai the game 1 was definitely the lack of ganks on dual lane and just the overall lack of wards on objectives. Well, there's certainly plenty of room for improvement, as usual, but hopefully we'll see some of that happen, some of that getting fixed in Game 2.
They are first pick this time, so let's see if they're going to look for anything game-changing. What do you think draft-wise, Exec? Think they should go for something similar this time, or change it up completely?
I feel like maybe they shouldn't go for a magical ADC this time. Perhaps just a nice, classic, regular, physical one.
Something that can fight more in lane.
Exactly.
I think that sort of suits Red's Pro Star more. He's definitely not a I'm going to farm and kind of wait. I know you can fight on Soul, but it kind of was a bit rough. I feel like just give him a stronger 1v1 god. He likes his Kurdanos.
I was actually thinking that Kurdanos would have been a way better pick here with Ganesh Ultimate and stuff like that. So perhaps that's what they're going to go for this time. We see very similar bans from both sides for Ao Kuang on Kin's side and Freya and Fenrir from Hakai's side.
Freya being respect banned from lore, so but he's feeling happy about that.
Yeah,
and Freya banned again.
Appeal of the Freya ban, to be fair.
Alyssa does like a Freya, so yeah, and Freya can actually fight early.
That is true, but to be fair, Freya is way more gankable than Sol or Kronos. So I feel like they could even bait perhaps Alyssa into picking Freya just so they can gank her a lot more, because that's the problem they had. There was just no ganks on that dual lane.
I feel like that's true, but then if they repeated that same mistake and she now has a Freya, it's kind of, she'd just become unstoppable, so I feel like just don't give her one of her favourite gods. That's also super strong late. And you may have been banned again. Also, Sol being banned here, and the Maui being first pick, so that's definitely a strong pick. Ghoul Atomics does like that god and has done pretty well on him before. So we'll see if setup's there and if they can follow up on it.
Exactly. A lot of times they see Maui being picked, but there's just no follow up for his ultimate. He's just there. People pick him because they think he's strong, and then they just end up not doing anything because there's lack of team coordination and just not enough follow up.
Good thing about Brex as a mid laner, if you say, "Hey, I'm setting up for you here," he will follow up. He's nearby. That is one thing he will do.
I wonder if we're gonna see a Willix being picked on the Hakai side as well, because a Willix with a Maui is just such a deadly combo. Seen it once, never want to see it again happen in my against me. We'll see.
She could also be good fighting against the Maui as well, being able to jump over his island and also pull him out the air. So
exactly.
It looks like Kids might be stealing the Agni away. Hunter running back the Herc, which
I am Hercules.
I mean, why not? It worked well last game. Got what you wanted out of it. Why not play it again?
To be fair, picking Herc as a first pick could be a problem. Could try getting someone that counters Herc quite well. First pick for solo lane might not be a play here, but we'll see. We'll see how that works out for them. And here's
just as we were saying, Kurnos being hovered, also Surta being hovered, which
funny.
Again, I would love to see in a league game, but unfortunately he's just not allowed yet.
Flee for your lives!
Can't wait to see him being played though. Absolutely.
We're kind of discussing how Kurnos is more of a Red Pro sort of god. He's definitely played that a lot in the past and is someone he's very comfortable on. And Kurnos is someone who you just want to dash into people with and fight at point blank range, so
exactly.
Yeah.
I actually got really I actually started to like Kurnos a lot. I really love his mechanic for the seasons mechanic, for example. I feel like it's kind of in depth and love swapping between them, utilizing all of them as possible.
Yeah, I normally just forget about that and keep the damage one on no lifesteal.
That's
After
also
I've played
respectable.
Kern in the past. So I think the more like optimal way is like you start with like the prod shred one, then swap to damage, and then use the ice if they're trying to get away, and then swap to lifesteal when you're low. But my brain can't really keep up with that. I normally just
There's
stay
a
in
lot of
lifesteal.
swapping here and there, but yeah, the protection shred one is actually really underrated. See, Colin being picked from Hakai's side could be a good counter to Hercules. We'll see though.
Colin's actually made a really strong comeback because he's kind of been a bit in and out in season 9. You know, at the start it was basically just King Arthur versus Colin every game. Then he's kind of fell off for a while after he got nerfed, then sort of came back, and he's back again quite strong in season 10. Just obviously, he's kind of guaranteed lane pressure because of his transform, really likes Bluestone, actually does scale quite well late game as well. I mean, the AoE knockup's always going to have some value to it, so not a bad pick here. The anti-heal on that does mean he might actually have a chance at killing Hercules as well if he wants to, though he probably still would need a bit of jungler help. I personally would say still, depending on what Alyssa picks, don't try and gank solo because
God nor demon can defeat
just don't think
me.
it's really worth it for this team.
Robin pick on Kin's side.
Will definitely make it a lot harder for Kurnos to fight back a 1v1. Also means he can immune the Maui CC quite easy. Obviously, if he gets jumped on, just 2 it. If you get ulted, just 2 it or ult it.
Exactly.
So realistically, shouldn't be getting pulled this game at all.
Still a ban from Kins. That's interesting. I haven't seen a Scylla ban in years.
I'm actually fairly surprised Yu Huang wasn't picked in the top 3 here. Perhaps Brett didn't want to ruin his perfect KD on Yu Huang and didn't think it was worth picking. But yeah, he finally had a chance to play it. I'm surprised he didn't.
That's true. Especially with
And Brett has played
Maui.
Scylla before, so I understand the ban. Obviously, it's a ton of damage. Brett likes to kind of just farm and play safe. Scylla does that, and then just pumps numbers late game. The Bacchus being hovered, personal favourite of mine. Though I haven't gotten to play him as much this season. Definitely one of my most played supports.
I'm not slept on
Very
right now,
stuff.
to be fair. The recent buff to Bacchus absolutely made him just so much more viable as a support now, thanks to self-sustain.
Yeah, though I haven't really noticed it too much, to be fair, because obviously you normally max your burp and then your flop, really. You kind of just put a point in it and then get like 20 HP heal, 40 HP heal. So it's nice to have, but I wouldn't really say it's game changing.
I feel like rushing it early game could be a bit more viable thanks to the power and protection buff it provides as well.
Maybe. Or maybe upgrade it second of the flop, though. I'm still more of a I'll upgrade the burp kind of guy. But
yeah.
We see a Cleo and a Thoth being hovered, which... You know what? Countering the artillery mage if you're an artillery mage, not an awful idea.
To be fair though, not that much follow-up for Maui. We see Kananos and Thoth could be a decent follow-up, but not how to feel about Cleo.
You say that, but if he ults them, you know where they're going to land, and Cleo can kind of just place an ult, and then Maui can just pull them or stun them onto the ult. So I feel like this is pretty decent follow-up, to be honest. I mean, as far as assassin ults go,
Still expected
Cleo is probably the best one for this. So Cleo is kind of like the closest to a major ult you could get as an assassin, and Wheelix definitely wouldn't have been bad, especially would have been good at the Bacchus if they wanted to try picking the support. Though, I just don't really feel like there'd be the setup there for an Awelix, really, because they've only got 1 jump, plus your team doesn't really have much in the way of knockups. You've only got
Maui and
pulling up.
Colin probably, yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't think 2 tank ults would really count as sufficient.
Well, still, the Agni has been picked, and, no beats on the ultimate. We see Oleron being picked as well, as the raid EC. So I guess Kins are now trying to utilize the magical ADC mana.
I don't think I've actually seen Alyssa play this yet, so I'm interested to see how this goes. Normally she very much opts for a more, I'm just going to fight you in lane kind of god, which Oleron can sort of do, though he is also still quite vulnerable, so let's hope that Hakai sort of take on, well, they can't really take on board, it's happened in the past this game, but let's hope that back then they were thinking, right, we're gonna go for dual lane this time.
Yeah. The ganking Olaron might be a bit of a problem though, considering his ultimate and his self-peel, the knockback on his Ray. Very annoying. But we'll see how they go about it this time.
Maybe, though, he does have one of the longest cooldown mage ults in the game, so it's quite easy to burn, and knowing Alyssa, she will use it aggressively. As long as Kern holds his dash when she's got it up, so that he can get out of it, I feel like it could be quite easy to bait out. That ult is kind of her sort of only insurance policy to stop a gank, so...
It's true. It's true indeed. I wonder how well Robin is gonna do this game, because every single game I played, and there's been a Robin in the enemy team, has just been absolutely stomping. So whenever I'm playing a game, a ranked game or something like that, I just always ban Robin. I absolutely despise going against him.
It's normally one of the assassins I'd pick if I were put in jungle, but Cleo going for the bluestone, which is... I'm not sure, actually. I haven't really seen how the changes affect it. Yeah, because that's normally the weakness of bluestone, isn't it? You can't like this to say that jungle starters have slightly worse clear, and especially with the changes to it, the nerfs. It's a bit worse, but it will do more damage on ganks than a jungle starter will. Just the farming's a bit harder. Cleo's clear is quite decent.
You should utilize cringe ganks if you're going to bluestone, I feel like. Get that damage out. Use it as much as possible.
I agree, we already see a huge amount of damage come out as Kern might already die here. I don't know how he took so much damage. Ghoul Atomics did manage to peel and keep him alive, though. I just looked away and looked back and that Kern was nearly dead.
Demolishing there.
He must have tanked the wave. Bacchus coming in with the floor. Ghoul Atomics kind of just hiding behind him. Wheelik's trying to get the return kill, will she get it? Fortunately not, Alyssa managed to get away with the skin of her teeth, and...
It almost worked. It was just a bit too late.
Looks like Ghoul kind of just said, sorry I can't really do anything, and walked off, which is kind of fair.
Yeah, you don't want to be feeding Alyssa more. She's already got 2 kills under her belt.
I mean, this is kind of the worst possible start Hakai could have had. Obviously, one of the biggest problems was the ADC level difference, but now they've kind of just given Alyssa first kills, including first blood. They might have just started the snowball rolling again, so...
Yeah, the Reds definitely did not anticipate this amount of aggression from Bacchus. He was not ready.
I do think you kind of have to when playing against a Bacchus, to be fair. That is what he's known for.
He was really out of position there.
He's quite popular being played by supporters who don't like playing support, so...
Yeah, I do like that playstyle. Why protect your team when you can just kill everyone else?
I mean, that is protecting your team indirectly. I mean, if you kill the enemy, there's no threat to your team, right? So...
Exactly, your team can't be hurt if there's no enemy. See a lot more still aggression being output by Hakai.
Also, peel for your own jungler.
Being down level 4 at 2 minutes. Nice little Maui counter to Bacchus burp. Pulling him in. Don't know if that's not gonna do much. Still, some poke is some poke. See an invade on the red buff there. They managed to secure it. Trevi Boy level 5. Definitely is gonna benefit from that. Getting those early Agni bombs. We might see a Gold Fury being taken quite early again.
The game keeps going the way it is, and definitely already a level lead in duo, though it has been caught up to, though I don't imagine Alyssa's very far from level 5. With the Bacchus hitting level 5, if Kai aren't careful, they could just get killed again. Brett kind of just clearing wave, doing what he can, being forced into tower a bit, but good thing with Foff here is, as long as he's within dash range of his tower, he's not really going to die. Like, Frank's alright into Thoth, but I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. If you get blinked on, obviously he can ult after your dash, but
Yeah, your dash is like the only thing you have. If you use it aggressively and then the enemy notices it, follows up. Oh, we see Agni's being absolutely
also hits the
run down
perfect
there.
ult. Which is exactly what they needed, actually.
Might give them a slight lead. You see Robin trying to avenge the Agni, but I don't know if that's the play. Leo's going into the wall.
I don't think they need to be so scared here, to be honest. It's 2v1. I feel like they could have just killed the Wrath. I don't think Brett needed to abandon his Cleo.
So that's probably why they retreated. Raven is getting really frisky here. Oh, we see Agni
Actually, with Brett out of ammo,
aggressively here. He definitely wants to output the pressure he has. And we see Robin taking Red Spro's life, but also Maui following it up with a kill to their side. See, still currently a little poke war in the middle. And we see Alyssa really being aggressive here. Taking the tower very early. I feel like they should go for the Gold Fury. They might not be as confident though, considering Focus here. And he should be getting his ultimate back pretty soon.
Well, the ADC situation isn't very good. It's not like the rest of the team are catastrophically behind or anything, so they can still fight over this if they go for Gold Fury. So they definitely, as long as they know they're going to do it and actually have a ward on it or something, I don't think they're in too much danger of that happening. And with the Thoth ult as well, it would be very risky to go. And if it's timed well, Thoth will out-secure Agni.
I see a lot of wards being purchased on the Hakai side, so I think they learned from their mistakes.
We see Izu's leading the player damage to charts, which is to be expected. He is a Kukulkan. He is a level up, so it's getting a little bit of a lead, which is fine. Might want to maybe play around some blue invades there if they don't feel like they can gank ADC, though. Haven't really seen any attempts on it yet.
Only there was one attempt, like basically at the start of the game, and it didn't go poorly, so they might not be interested in doing that again anytime soon. Which I feel like is quite a mistake, because all they have to do is burn Olaram ult, and basically then he's a free kill. Considering also how aggressive Olaram is currently. Nice one, Hunter. See, another
So ulting for the totem again.
For the totem. Very
Breathtaking.
huge amount of aggression from King Kai's. Does it work for them though? Agni's very low HP. Maui ulting in, getting another kill on Trev. Following it up, trying to scratch Bacchus a bit. Going in for those bastions finally. Robin going in hard on both here. Really
Might have just entered it.
But he does get it indeed. I feel like it was worth it. He's level 9 now. See, dual lane also having a little bit of a sparring. Red's very low HP, quite in trouble. They're coming in to help him. Finally, a little bit of a gank. Oh, this is half HP, so this is a perfect opportunity. Unfortunately, Maui's ult is down, so not a lot of setup here. Cleo going hard, but unfortunately can't finish it up due to lack of mana. Let's see, are we going to see a little bit of a Gold Fury sieging here?
Definitely worth the attempt, though. Was just a bit late, though. Solo might get soloed here. Izu's on a slither of health right now.
And also,
This is
basically no
fortunate
mana
part of laning against the Herc is he can kind of just keep healing, really, especially if he keeps winning totem pressure.
Exactly. Not to mention, I Totally forgot about the buff to Hercules free that gives him attack speed. That is actually.
How low his mana is? A gank wouldn't be out of the question here, to be honest, on the solo. Almost quite hard,
true.
but it might be a bit rough now he's healed up, but definitely seems like they're a bit late, some of these. I think Cleo just needs to try and head over a bit sooner, because she probably could have caught out.
Hercules is also out of mana right now, so could be a good get opportunity. See him going off his buff right now. Not a lot of traffic around solo, I must say. Which is definitely a mistake. Even taking the blue buff, invading it is quite a game changer.
Especially since Merc can be quite mana hungry, and Hunter has seemed to consistently be struggling with mana in this, so...
Yeah, even after taking the totems, he still has problems with mana regen. Now currently we just see both sides not really being aggressive, just farming, standing back. See Robin coming in with a blink in the ult. Again on Folk, he really has a vendetta against him.
Managed to hit a big double, so I don't think they should be scared here. Hakai not being so. Managing to get a kill without a death.
Yeah. That's a W in my book. See, are they gonna finally try to go for Gold Fury? Are they not taking the risk here? See, Bacchus uses his jump. Perhaps that could have been a good follow-up with some damage, forcing him to leave. Or Agni allowed.
I think it is worth mentioning how much Gaul has actually done here in this game, so obviously having 3 out of 5 of the kills and an assist without dying yet has basically helped keep him in the game right now. The gold deficit is still there, but it's not as bad, and it does look like they actually have hope now.
Yeah, they have a fairly good chance of making a good comeback, maybe even snowballing. I feel like the biggest threat right now is actually the Kinkai's ADC. They should probably start thinking about shutting Alyssa down.
And the longer they leave it, the harder it does get to shut her down as well. Though with only being 1 level ahead, it's not that bad right now. They can still kill her, but if they leave it as long as they did last game, it might get to a point where she's like 3-4 levels up again. There's no stopping her.
See Maui coming in with the ultimate and nicely securing it by the Thoth. Very good team coordination there. That's what I like to see.
So it looks like Izu's getting close to being soloed here.
Yeah, quite in a bit of a trouble here, even considering his transform form. Didn't really help him that much.
I think that right there, which we saw him, is exactly what they just need to keep doing there.
Exactly, just get a Maui to ult nicely in and follow it up.
Especially since it's quite easy to bait the Agni dash, and once he does dash, it's kind of a free ult, so it's either going to hit or he's going to die.
See Cleo focusing these bastions with the ultimate. Mistake I make a lot of the time while playing Cleo is just not using her ultimates are secure. See a lot of cloaks here.
As well as the starter item difference, we also see one going prophetic, one going thief. So what's your opinion on this? Personally,
I feel like prophetic is a slept on item. Because getting the stacks is not that difficult. And people just don't like getting prophetic because they have to stack it, and most of the time they don't reach the evolved form. But on gods like Maui, for example, all it takes is just approach and give it a little smack. You got a smack and you get another stack. And the fact that it gives the protections to your teammates is like it's better than Thieves in my opinion. And you can even build both Thieves and Prophetic Cloak.
This one stacks, but I think the issue is you have to play really heavily around it and just keep it in your mind for quite a while, because obviously even if you're quite efficient, it can still take up to 20 minutes to get stacked. I think the easiest person I found so far is probably Atlas and Yamoja for getting it stacked. And even then, like, you have to really consciously be looking for it. And
It's true.
if they decide to play back and not let you poke them, or if you're only able to build up magical stacks, you then have to go over to solo split waves even, and just go there to poke their solo and walk off, or follow their jungle around, so it can be a bit rough, especially if they're trying to not let you do it, but
From experience, getting the physical stacks is really difficult. We see a lot of traffic here on solo. Hakai, I guess, is finally done with Hunter's bullshit, and came and taking matters in their own hands. We see an absolutely huge fight going on here. Ultimate from Maui, ultimate from Bacchus, ultimate from Robin.
Shadows.
See, but does it really help them though? No. King Kais follows it up nicely with a good rotation, and the right tower is down. So don't know if that was the correct play here.
it does look like they kind of threw their chance for a comeback away, though. The gold lead just seems so much bigger than it should be. The XP lead isn't even that bad here either. The kills are almost equal. Surprised that gold's gone so badly for them.
Yeah, they basically, I feel like right now they threw their victory out of the window. But we see Fire Giant being taken. See, Cocoon's coming in.
He's just coming in just maybe seconds too late.
Too late with that ultimate.
Immediately die.
They do try to follow it up though, which I don't think is the play here, because, well, that Fire Giant buff makes quite a difference.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Paxkit need to just hard retreat after that. Once it's taken, there's no point in fighting that. Like, unless you actually think you can kill them.
Wiped completely after that Fire Giant taken.
Might have been the nail in the coffin for them, but we'll see. Gold Fury is up, though I don't even think they can pull that quick.
Are already looking at it, thinking about it, definitely. Bacchus is on it, waiting for the team to come over. And I don't think that Hakai will even attempt to secure it. Perhaps Kurdanos is giving it a little cheeky look, but might be his death sentence, to be honest.
During Red's Pro, he could just decide to dash into it and try and steal it.
Would that really help though? I doubt it. Because there's still the risk of even securing it. If you dash in, don't secure it, then you look like you don't look like a goat, you look like a clown.
It's been quite by position, but luckily no follow-up though. Hunter kind of just slapping him to do a bit of damage.
To retreat. Hunter is going hard. Relentless. Trying to pull in the reds. Hunter is completely out of position here, but it doesn't really matter since it's Hercules with regrowth. You can just zoom in out of there. Coming in, huge fights over at the middle side. Maui with it, coming in with a huge ultimate, pulling it Hunter. Oh, but he manages to get away with sliver of health.
Wasn't really the follow-up that needed to be. I saw like 4 people there, if barely anyone fired a shot.
Coming in, Cocoon with his ultimate. Will that really secure anything though? We see Hunter is still absolutely fighting against 2 people. Still manages to survive, which is absolutely incredible. Finally gets taken down by both, but he shouldn't be alive for this long. Colin is still trying to come in, deal some poke damage, perhaps transform. But Kai is finally deciding to retreat and in fact, this will be a pretty decent opportunity for perhaps a Pyro from King Kai's side. At their current state, I think they're just gonna go and retreat. Play it safe.
I mean, as far as FG defenses go, that was not that bad to be honest. They only really lost to tier 2, managed to get a couple of kills and chase them out of the Phoenix. They're probably not going to look for another push here, so I'd call that successful given the circumstances.
Yeah, especially
managing to
Herc. Like the Herc kill was a really good one. Good pick there. Could be quite beneficial.
With him being down, it's a lot harder for them to siege. And good thing about Brett as well as a mid laner is it doesn't matter how much his team is losing, he'll always manage to pump out a lot of damage and get kills and stuff. So
yeah, even with a build with like basically no power, Hercules is still very impressive.
Also, Hunter does seem to like his Mystic Mail. I'm not sure whether that item's good again or whether that's just Hunter being special with his builds, but...
You know, if you can't have Contagion, you gotta go Mystic. It's basically the same thing.
I'm not convinced.
I do like the Stone of Binding pick though. I do like that. People are not picking Stone Binding as much as they should have. I feel like that item would have been nerfed if people actually realized how powerful it is.
Maybe. Personally, I've seen quite a lot of it built in probably most of the games I've been playing.
Like even Stone of Binding could pass be a viable option on some mages even with CC abilities.
The Malwheel goes a little bit wide, unfortunately. Could have been potential for some big damage. Probably multiple kills if that was aimed a bit better, but...
Still have a good decent
you mess up.
Oh, Colin's way out of position there.
So the lore kind of... Ravana got a bit lost there.
Yeah, Ravan got lost there.
They are going for a full retaliation. Hunter does zone 2 people out, pushes them away and nearly kills one.
This is a very close fight here, but Hakai had the lead for a second there. They unfortunately threw it away. Now all they can do is just protect the left lane. Power's probably gonna go down, they're gonna give it up, considering they have Emperors as well. Power doesn't have much power there to defend itself. And I feel like King Kais are definitely gonna go and try to get a Gold Fury. String's about to come up. Will they try to do a cheeky little steal, perhaps with both?
I mean, again, it's a tier 2 tower, it's not the end of the world, but it would have been a bit better if they managed to not lose a jungler there, or if the Maui ult hit, but
yeah,
I'm really not one who can complain about missing ults. I've definitely missed a lot more Maui ults than I've hit in my time playing them, so...
Coming in for the fire giant though, I don't think that's the play here. Because we see King Kai is absolutely coming in, they have that thing warded. They're not gonna let them take it. No way in hell. Robin coming in again on both here. Got to beat the mages, which I think is a pretty good deal. So Bob is definitely gonna get targeted next.
And Gaul still not managing to have his prophetic stack, so is suffering a bit right now. If that were stacked, he'd probably have survived that.
Definitely. Oh, we see Red Spur trying desperately to fight off Hunter, but he's just smacking him. He's relentless. And he goes down, unfortunately. A valiant effort. Colin at a sliver of health, fortunately going down. Leo trying to get away. I don't think that's gonna happen though. I think either are relentless.
I mean, it might do if Raven misses, so... And Brett trying to appeal for his jungler again. We've seen quite a bit of this. Brett is quite a selfless mid laner in that respect. He will actually try and help you. Normally the mid lane mentality is just no goodbye.
I think I've seeing Hunter constantly running around with breastplate of regrowth, just chasing them down like an absolute fucking madman. See, we have a little Phoenix Siege. It goes down pretty much instantly. Even the buff and Empress. Can't do nothing there. And
Glutton looks like went to apply an Ankh, but unfortunately there wasn't really a fight, so might have been a bit of a waste there. Would have been useful at this one here. He still had it.
Definitely. But we'll see.
Doesn't have the ult.
Do a good little comeback here. You see Cocoon ult, nicely knocking up a lot of people. I don't think transformation is going to come in clutch. Unfortunately not. But Alyssa is down, which severely hinders King Kais. They get another kill on Raven, but Red Spur is down. So we got a little free for free mid lane, and I'm not sure King Kais will want to follow it up. I think they're going to want to retreat, perhaps do some camps.
I mean, they got what they needed. Get the Pyro Bomb, try again when your team's back up. They should still have FG. It's a shame that they don't have it on their ADC.
They got the right Phoenix, so it's still a pretty, it was a pretty good fight there.
Yeah, I mean, a standard fire giant getting the Phoenix is just pretty much what you want, really, so if you only get one, that's fine. Though, for Hakai, that is the best Phoenix to lose out of the three, so as long as they sort of control the fire waves a bit, they can actually still defend fire giant, they won't really have to send someone to back. Just the issue with left one. And Brett leading the player damage charts, which I think they could if they decide to defend the next.
Take at the moment, so this is just gonna be just a moment where they take the minions, probably take some camps, some copies, maybe get a sneaky kill on Kernos here and there, because Kernos is way up there when he shouldn't be. All around not following up though.
I think they just need to keep playing around Brett in these fights. Obviously, the Maui's done pretty good for setting up for the Thoth, so basically just keep doing that and keep healing. The Thoth hasn't actually died much this game, only twice, so as long as it stays like that, I feel like that's how they win these fights. It's just Maui setups for the Thoth, protects the Thoth, just play around Brett.
Coming in with the absolute aggression here. All ult has been popped, a lot of ult has been popped. Maui's here. Coming in, bringing them to the Phoenix though. Is that a good idea, considering they have Empress? I don't know.
I think that was, especially with how that was placed. It did actually block them in as well, making it so they couldn't get out. It shut down the siege completely.
Yeah, that was a pretty good fight on Hakai's side. They're trying to follow it up
though. Just don't get too greedy and chase.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
They're greedy here. King Kai is probably gonna go for the Gold Fury.
That's fine. If they FFG at this stage and you stop them from taking a Phoenix, that's basically what you're trying to do there. They got what they needed to do.
If Hakai is gonna try to go for Fire Giant again like they did last time. Probably not though. Because last time I remember they got wiped.
Your team has destroyed the Gold Fury.
Maybe some ward gameplay though. No, I shouldn't let King Kai's get another FG.
Izu's as well, despite the KDA not looking good, has pumped out a huge amount of damage, and the backline disruption's actually been really valuable here. Because even though he dies a lot and doesn't seem to get kills by himself, he does keep like 4 people aimed at him for quite a decent amount of time, and it does allow sort of Hakai to get those kills because they're all focused on Izu.
Kind of huge on the backline, I must admit. Like, you've seen him knock out like 4 people or something. That's very powerful. Even if you die, there's just huge value to your team. The disruption is real.
I feel like either Izus isn't calling when he's doing it, or his team are kind of a bit too hesitant to follow up. But I feel like if they, gave Izus just a little bit more follow up, probably be a lot more kills for them. But Brett's sort of being chased out. He's gonna have to be careful until that dashes back up now. He's gonna wait for it to come back up. The good thing with Thoth is you don't mind these sort of fights. You can kind of just keep poking over a wall. The only issue is the sustain is sort of on, well, definitely on Kinz's side, so...
Izu's coming in with another ultimate there, knocking people up, focusing on this. His team is not really following it up though. Thoth got a nice hit there with his ultimate. He managed to nicely get 2 kills here, which is quite huge. Are they gonna push it through though? Gonna go for it. I feel like aggression right now is the play.
Again, it's just a bit of a shame really, because obviously Izu's got, again, quite a good engage, but the follow-up, while they did manage to get some kills, I feel like they could have done that, killed the ramp as well, and Izu's still not dying, you know what I mean? Definitely feels like they...
So Raven being at the, like, behind Hakai, but he just went back to his base, which I don't know is the right call here.
Looks like they aren't going to be able to pull big fire, which was a good defense from Kint. I'd say just go for the pyro, get the bomb.
Oh, I don't think they're going to get it though, because Trevi boy's coming in with the Agni ultimate, following it up, trying to get Cleo, and he does. The Agni progression definitely paid off here. So right now Hakai is kind of in shambles. Goes going back to base, preparing for another siege defense.
They definitely need to head straight to that FG here because that's probably where Kins are going to be looking.
Definitely.
It looks like Izus is clearing the fire waves, which is fair enough, though I think there definitely needs to be a bit more urgency because you know they're going to go Fire Giant, or at least you should be anticipating that at this point. We see him coming along, but it doesn't seem to be that much urgency. They can't just wandering about here. Like, why is Izus going back to clear the fire waves? It's clearly an FG thing. Now they've kind of just got a free Fire Giant, and now you can be forced into Phoenix again.
Oh, and Trevi boy.
Without an ADC defense.
Got absolutely melted there. Definitely, he was way out of the position again. Not really with his team. He gets picked off quite often, yes.
Mr. Kakon just upgraded his TP. He could have just TP'd near the FG as well. I definitely don't think they need to let that go. That might have just been a mistake that costed them the game there. Right, getting pushed into danger.
See huge ultimates coming out of the Metal Phoenix here. He just tries to get away, but unfortunately his transformation didn't help him much. Maui pulling in Hunter though, and manages to get the kill. Thanks to Titan's little help here. So
Low health bars
definitely going to be retreating here.
They're unlikely to go for a Phoenix Siege. Definitely not going to get Titan, but I definitely don't feel like they needed to lose that Phoenix or FG.
Yeah, it was quite a little misstep.
They can't just letting these objectives go with. I don't know whether they just thought they wouldn't get there in time or whether they just didn't realise, because.
Perhaps they weren't too confident with their ability to secure it.
I mean, yeah, but you can still defend it. You don't need to try and steal it. You just fight them at that point. I mean, I know Pax King got picked, so it would have been a 4v5, but I still think that was worth going for there. Because you do have the Fofo available.
It's definitely true.
And even if you don't, you can just Maui pull the ADC off.
Safe, which sometimes is not really the way to go. Sometimes you have to show some aggression, or you're just gonna let the enemy team roll over you. Because one team wipe can just absolutely change the whole outcome of the game. See a lot of movement here on the left lane. See Robin coming in with the ultimate, missing plenty of abilities. I don't know that was the right play here. Now he's just running as fast as he can. He's legging it. Kai's right, Phoenix is up. Probably King Kai's best bet was to go for the right Phoenix and get rid of it as quickly as possible. We do see fire waves coming in. Huge fights, we all have been popped. See Izus got wiped. Unfortunately, he's trying to help his team there by opening the backline. Didn't work.
I definitely think at that point it's not worth trying to backline disruption. You're not going to live long enough to cause any disruption.
Yeah, but we see Alyssa and Trainboy being very low HP. Redspro's coming in. And King Kai should probably retreat this. Both of the Phoenixes are down. They did a mighty fine job there, and they shouldn't really push their luck, but Redspro got wiped unfortunately, because again the team wasn't really next to him. So a quick
I do think he did get baited a bit, probably.
Yeah, that was a big bait there.
That Maui ult did a good job at splitting them up. There were two trapped behind it, and then like three trapped on the other side. It made it very easy to just isolate those two in the Titan room.
Yeah.
Which is definitely something that's underrated with Maui. Sometimes it's better to not necessarily go for the pull, but just use it as a wall. That's definitely something that I need to be doing more.
Exactly, just blocking up the enemies, maybe just splitting them up so one enemy gets pulled but the others get blocked, for example.
Because you can't bead the wall, right? Whereas if you aim just for the pull, they can sometimes bead it, and then you end up walling to protect them at that point.
So right now I think King Kai's are going to be going for Pyro and then Habs FG. He's just kind of out of position, probably was setting up wards. Ults in to get away.
33
Yeah,
minutes
Hakai
in
is
and
doing
still no
another thing.
prophetic stacked.
Yeah, Hakai is going for FG again. He's probably alerting his team. We see Kalina kind of with a sneaky little plan. Should probably focus Oleron. Tries to steal it perhaps with the ultimate, but unfortunately was way too late there. Izus unfortunately gets picked off again. No follow-up from his team. They mostly just retreated.
And with Titan down below half health and 2 out of 3 Phoenixes down, and the EFG, this is probably going to be game.
Yeah,
Defense
considering
is possible, but unlikely.
absolutely
Right,
unlikely. I
still
don't think they
leading
have
the
a
play
chance.
damage.
Yeah, Red Spro's down now, so they don't have the ultimate, and Python is dead. Yeah, basically there was no chance they could have done anything there. Even if the enemies just rolled through without taking the Beetle Phoenix, they could have just not really cared that much about the Titan.
Well, that was definitely better played from Hakai than first game. Like, it was definitely like an improvement. Felt a lot more competitive. Felt like they actually could win at some point. So I don't think they should leave that set feeling too bad about it. They did fix a lot of their issues from game one. Like, they were a bit more coordinated. The combo with mid and support was definitely quite on point. I feel like Atomic's actually played a pretty good game there, all things considered. I feel like Brett played a pretty good game, like he always does.
But as I said, there's still plenty of room for improvement. Definitely more ganks on the dual lane, as I said from game one. And probably
Kins just seems stronger than ever.
Yeah, Kins are going hard this season. It's probably because of their amazing captain.
It is true, though. Still haven't been able to beat my team, so we'll see. Looks like it's going to be Redemption versus Kins is going to be the match to look out for in the future.
Absolutely, can't wait to see.
We're 2-0 against Kins right now.
So yeah, probably what they should take from this game, from what Hakai should take from this game, is ward objectives and gank dueling a lot more.
And also follow up on the solo there, because we look at like the stats. He did more damage in the solo. The KDA wasn't good, obviously, but
yeah,
a lot of the fights where they
out.
did win. Don't get me wrong, there were some times where it was like, okay, you really don't need to be going in there, but he did get quite a lot of good ones off, and I do feel like maybe just having a bit more faith in him in some of these fights. Again, though, it's hard to say because we don't know the comms. It might have just been he wasn't really calling what he was doing, because I've definitely had that problem playing Vizus before. He sometimes doesn't really say when he's going to go in, he just goes in.
Yeah.
And you're not ready for it. But I definitely feel like the rest of them played better. I think with Red's Pro, he's got decent mechanics and he can pump out damage. I feel like just the positioning's his main problem here.
Yeah, Red's Pro
he actually
his positioning. Because
nearly equal damage to Alyssa.
Yeah, that is true.
I feel like he just needs to not really front line. That's probably been the main issue so far. Red's Pro, he kind of just stands at the front and he kind of just needs to watch where his team are a bit more.
A lot more map awareness, and he could definitely be able to carry games.
I think Brett has definitely proven that he's not just a Yu Huang one trick, and while he's not quite unkillable on fourth, he's definitely hard to kill with only having 2 deaths on the game that you lose. That goes on over 30 minutes. Managed to do more damage here than mid, more kills, bit less assists, and less deaths, so definitely a strong performance. So Trev has done pretty well himself and consistently been one of the top mid laners, so...
Yeah. Hello. How are we?
Hello. It's Trevi.
Hi, Trevi.
Hey.
Good Agni gameplay here, my man.
Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't bad. I was mad that I died the 3 times at the start, but yeah, only is what it is. But we had pretty well. We had pretty good positioning in the late game fights and stuff. I think our macro play was quite good as well. I think throughout the first and second game, we were just getting objectives for free, and like I think the 6-minute goal fury was it was a ballsy move, but I think
Yeah, very ballsy, but it paid off.
because I was the one to call that, and I saw like I tried to do like a big brain play, and I was like I knew that red was coming off, and I knew mids were on the right side, so if they go to the left, I think, oh, they're simply going to support buff. So I was like, right, let's just do gold, see what happens. So and we got it. So yeah, but yeah, no, I think the big thing for them was I don't know, they didn't really have a jungle that pressured us that much, to be honest, because I felt like Brex was doing quite a lot in their team, and like he was just free casting on backline, and if they had like I don't know more jungle pressure, they would have put us in a more like worse state than we had. So yeah.
I definitely noticed that as well. We did seem a bit sort of scared to sort of play aggressive at times. He kind of seemed quite hesitant. Whereas with like the Merc, if you just ulted Duo more often, that might have been a lot better. But with your team, how are the comms sort of going with your new ADC and just in general, really? How are you lot feeling?
I think good, to be honest. I think short calling is. I think everyone agree. Like I'm probably doing the most short calling, and I think like I'm speaking all the time in mid. I'm like saying, oh, people going left, people going right. But then like also Hunter does a lot of stuff as well. But I think we just recently picked up Alyssa like last week, and it's been going really well. Apart from her no war challenge, which I don't really like, but no, but it's
Hey,
fine.
she had
But,
4 wards this game though.
oh, she said 4 wards, yeah, but she said 4 wards I put in base, so. But yeah, no. But it's been going well, to be honest. Like we're doing a lot better now than we were at the start of the season. Like we made a couple changes, and yeah, honestly, I think we're the best team in the league. We just got to scrim or like go against Redemption.
Oh,
easily win against them.
I'm not gonna take that.
I want to see that happen.
We beaten you twice. We're gonna beat you again.
That's all I'm saying. Alts is getting put in a body bag. I'm calling them out right here, right now. No, but apart from that, yeah, no, I think we're best team in the league right now. But yeah, we're gonna win it, to be honest. But yeah,
It's to be put to a test.
yeah.
I don't agree with it, but I respect you calling it out like that, and we'll see when the time comes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you'll see. Okay.
I've got a few things I've been cooking up.
Yeah, all right, cool. I stay back in the kitchen, big man.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else do you guys want to know, or is that the end?
Oh, you got any ideas, Exec?
Basically, no, honestly, I have no other questions. Just the gameplay.
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're kicking up a couple of few things for ourselves. I think if Hammers isn't, sorry, James, the law isn't trolling, I think we have a lot of good games. But yeah, no, we do quite well. I think we're the best team right now, easily, for sure.
Definitely second best team.
No, but best team.
I feel like your biggest achievement is getting Alyssa to actually ward.
Oh yeah, no, she wants to do no ward challenge. There's 4 wards, but in the base. Like she only did that so she could pad the stats.
Always something.
But no. So Alyssa's my ADC. I don't want to touch it, but yeah.
Don't tell her about the Chalice of the Oracle thing.
Oh yeah, no.
I've done that before, and I nearly got banned for doing it.
But yeah, no. Yeah, we're gonna win the season, obviously. Yeah. Yeah,
hoping this,
Yeah, no, I'm trying to big up the team, trying to get every other team mad at us, so they want to scrim us, because no one.
We did scream against you, right? But it wasn't with Alyssa on your team.
That was the old team. Old team.
No. You still had like low jungle and that. That was.
Oh yeah, we did take a set off you.
That was different. Not a set.
No, not a set. A game. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was when we had a Freya mid and me on Terra. I wouldn't count that as a game.
I remember I didn't die that game. Yeah. No.
That's I was on Terra. She needs a bit more time to cook. I'm putting her back in the oven. I'm just gonna give her a bit more time. Terra's not really comp ready for me.
Yeah. Let me know when you kill me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
I'll kill you again. I'm pretty sure I've killed you before plenty of times, Trev. I'll do it again.
All right. Cool. Keep trying. It's all good, man. Anyway, lovely chatting with you boys, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks for joining, and have a good evening.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Bye. Right, he's left. Now we can BM him again.
Okay, what a shitter, absolutely. Holy fuck. Ew.
No, but
Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this little game against King Kai's and Hakai. This has been GSL, and we're signing off.
good night.